All praise Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Kadesh. The bonds of Apostle Elders, the great millstone taught me the truth to rule well. Salutations to the I came out there pushing the truth in all sincerity and still alive to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that believe in the truth, Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, that scattered them on the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Got a news clip that I want to play, dealing with this so-called white woman, this Shedamite, and her having conflict with her Jake neighbor, and it's quite funny, but the woman's name that this Jake is having issue with, her name's Karen, and Jake, these so-called white women, that call the cops on Jake when they have issues for simple shit. They call them Karens, and just so happened to be that this woman's name is Karen, and she's giving Jake a hard time, and the dude that's in the video, his name is actually Jacob, showing that this is the spiritual, because these Edomites, they have been ordained by the Lord, to be our enemies, and this video just shows that these things are going to intensify, and they're going to lead up to race wars, what are biblically prophesied, because these are the times that we're in, and these issues that we're having, or these tensions, are going to increase between Esau, Edom, and Jacob, as we get closer to the end, because this is biblically prophesied that these things are going to take place, and the Lord going to really show you who this devil truly is. He's going to unleash him upon the world to bring his wrath upon, because the Lord uses Esau, Edom as his whipping stick upon the nation of Israel, and he's going to let him loose, and you're going to see that this devil is truly your enemy. But let me just read what's in the description. It reads, Jacob and his neighbor Karen are in a clash after Jacob claims his neighbor is threatening him with her racist signage that is aimed towards Jacob's home. And then the title of the video is "Women's White Lives Matter sign is predominantly black. It's like in predominantly black St. Louis community infuriates neighborhood." So let's play the news clip.
Couples' clash with their neighbors has taken an ugly turn. They say they're being threatened with racist yard signs and symbols, but the city admits their hands are tied because it's happening on private property. Only News 4 investigator Chris Nagus has the very real story of bad neighbors that's now boiling over.
When I've had visitors come by and we come out on the deck and they look over there, they're like, man, what's going on?
He goes by Jacob, but wants his face concealed because of what's happening next to his home on Del Mar.
All of St. Louis is about to see you, Karen.
I don't care.
His neighbor Karen Hudson has no problem showing her face to defend the display that adorns her house.
Why is it okay to put Black Lives Matter signs up but not white?
But it's not just the White Lives Matter sign that has Jacob upset. He takes issue with the White Pride Worldwide sign hanging above the caricature of a black person eating a watermelon, which sits near windows with Confederate flags. But it doesn't end there.
What does the Raccoon City thing mean on the back bumper there?
It's where my son works.
He works at Raccoon City?
Yes. What is it supposed to mean?
I checked. According to state records, there is no business listed with that name.
And ain't a company on the planet named Raccoon City. Have you ever heard of Raccoon City?
If you Google the letters UBCS along with Raccoon City, there's reference to a fictional town in a video game called Resident Evil. But Jacob believes this bumper is aimed at him.
When I have neighbors like the vets next door who see this Raccoon City on the back of the car, when I'm outside doing yard work, a couple of them have walked up to me and say, man, what do we mean by that Raccoon City? But I'm like, they saying they live in the city of coons.
No question there is bad blood between these neighbors. Karen claims it started when her dog went to the bathroom near the property line. She says Jacob overreacted and made racial comments directed at her family.
And only after he went off on us about everything racial, that's when we said to ourselves, okay, you want to start a little race war, then you know what? You're calling us racist. We will put up all kinds of stuff so that if that's what you want to believe and you tell everybody, then fine, feel free to look at it. That's why we did it.
So you admit this is aimed at your neighbor?
Yes. And only him.
Can you understand how your neighbor sees this as a threat?
No, I don't.
Both sides call the other side racist, and now they coexist a few feet from each other. Not only is it ugly,
Yeah, whatever, Karen. Stop lying, Karen. You Karens all over America been lying and getting caught.
it has the potential to get worse. Jacob takes issue with the target practice poster in the window and claims lasers have been pointed at him.
Karen, have you pointed lasers at them?
Yes.
I pointed at their camera because
No.
You a damn
It's all
liar.
right.
Jacob says he will defend himself.
Y'all trying to provoke us to kill you. And I want the city to know. I want the city to know that we dealing with white supremacists who constantly try to provoke us in this age of provocation.
He's calling you a white supremacist. Are you a white supremacist?
no, I'm not. None of this was ever up. We are friends with everyone around here except for him.
So you're not taking any of this down?
I'm not taking it down. No one can make me take it down.
And she appears to be right. The city is not aware of any ordinance that would force the removal of signs like this one. So this will continue to be the view from Jacob's deck.
In our neighborhood, which is 99.9% black, these white supremacists moved next door, and at first they was covert with their racism. Then it began to be overt.
I'm getting tired of the Black Lives Matter being shoved down our throats. I'm getting shoved down my throat everywhere I go. Black Lives Matter signs. No, all lives matter. All lives matter. Everyone. Even his pathetic life.
There's an old saying, good fences make good neighbors. These neighbors might need a bigger fence. Both parties have now installed security cameras on their homes as a matter of protection from each other. Chris Nagus, News 4 Investigates.
So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? That's how Esau Edom really feels about you. Like, this woman, she has a flag that says white pride worldwide. And then she got under it, she had a statue of a so-called black man eating a watermelon. That shit is crazy because, you know, she's like, well, you know, the only reason why this happened is because, you know, the dog took a shit on the you know, on the property line and whatnot, and like, you know, they had issues ever since then, and you know, they was like, oh, you're a racist type shit, and then all of a sudden now she was like, well, you think I'm a racist, I'm gonna show you I'm a racist. But she truly, she hates Jake. It's not a coincidence that it's not a coincidence that she had a flag that says white pride worldwide. It just spontaneously just popped up. Nah, because she always had that flag, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure she always had that statue, but I'm sure she just kept it in her home. But now, you know, she had reason to display it. Like, you know, all right, I'm gonna show you my white pride, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put this in my window, and I'm gonna show you, you know, I hate you niggas, you know? Even though I'm in a predominantly black neighborhood, because that shows you that, you know, Esau Edom, you know, is coming out of their power seat, you know, because, you know, the curses are coming upon them as well, you know, because the curses are going to be, you know, changed from us unto them, and the Lord is, you know, slowly, you know, bringing them out of their power seat, because, you know, the end of the rule is up. The time to rule is pretty much over. But, you know, you know, like I was saying, like, there's no coincidence that, you know, she had a white pride flag in her home, and a statue of a black man eating a watermelon just happened to be in a home that's not, you know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. And then she lies and says that, you know, the bumper tag that her son has on his car is where he works. And the news dude say he Googled it, and it came up to be that there's no such thing as Raccoon City in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? So she pretty much lied, but that's Esau Edom for you. You know, they, like Jake was saying in the video, he was like, yo, because they calling us coons, like this is Coon City because, you know, the neighborhood is predominantly black, you know, so they was like, yo, we're surrounded by these coons or whatnot. And she's tired of, you know, hearing about the Black Lives Matter bullshit, so she goes and she put a White Lives Matter sign, and, you know, I mean, next to their Black Lives Matter signs, and she's like, you know, all lives matter, you know. But truly, you know, she just, you know, revealed her true stance, that she truly just hates Jake, you know what I'm saying? But that's only the reason why is because, you know, the Lord has, you know, placed that inside of them, and, you know, she just, you know, revealing, you know, her true hatred for Jake. That's, you know, just part of her DNA, you know. And this is going to happen more and more as we come to the end, because the Lord is going to reveal your enemy into you, Jake, whether you believe it or not. It's just biblical prophecy. And just like Jake was saying in the video, the dude Jacob, he was like, they're trying to provoke us to kill him, and that's going to happen. You know, the Lord is going to put the spirit upon Jake and upon Esau to go at it in these streets, because 2/3 of Jake got to die, you know, and Esau Edom going to die too. And it's going to be race wars, and it's going to be bloodshed in these streets, because, you know, Esau Edom's going to be fighting to hold on to his kingdom, and, you know, Jake going to be fighting against him, you know. And the Lord, you know, has judgment for, you know, 2/3 of his people, along with, you know, Esau Edom and the other heathen nations. That's going to take place, you know, in the times of Jacob's trouble that's to come. You know, they're going to feel the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and they're going to die at each other's hand, because the Lord is going to put that spirit upon them to war against each other. Let me read this this news paper clip that a friend of mine sent me at work. The name of the news article is News Weekly US, and it's dated for today, actually, October 26, 2020. And the name of the article is Police Ramp Up Patrols After Man with Rifle Allegedly Said He Was Going to Kill Black People. And that's the spirit that the Lord, you know, has upon, you know, these Edomites. And it's going to, it's like I'm trying to get this video out again. All right. A man in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, allegedly made a threat against black people, you know, so-called black people, Jake, while walking around carrying a rifle, promoting police in the city to ramp up patrols. So I can read that again. A man in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, allegedly made threats against black people while walking around carrying a rifle, promoting police in the city to ramp up patrols. Officers were called to the 3500 block of Blatchett Avenue in the city around 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, after the man was seen there with a rifle slung over his back. Cleveland Heights Police Chief Anita Mecklenburg said in a news release. Officers also spoke to witnesses who had notified the police department. While speaking with observers, at no time did anyone confirm that the man acted unlawfully, making threats or pointing the rifle at any person. Mecklenburg said, It is legal to openly carry a weapon in the state in most scenarios. However, police said they had been alerted on Sunday to a social media post that allegedly the man had said he was going to kill black people. So as you can see, this is the social media post. What's going on? It's locked, yeah. All right. So this is the social media post that looks like a Melachite. You see, he got the little kufi, and that's his son right there. The little kid right here. He got the rifle on his back. These fake Jews. These fake Jews, they like to wear all black. Since they're not black, and the Jews are of a dark race. They like to put on all black, and in efforts to hold on to their fake identity. It's like it. Turn it this way I can see it. So this is the post, and it reads, "I'm sorry, my neighbor." It's like it. "I'm sorry, my neighbor did not show me his face, but please call." It's like it. "But please, all of my friends in the Cleveland Heights area, this man and his son is walking around with a gun, and the man says he's going to kill black people with that gun because he hates us, and his son is there to point us out while the father aims and shoots. Please, please, please be safe or stay inside the house. Please watch out for this kid and a man with a long brown beard. Please share for awareness." Yeah, so this is a Melachite Jewish cat, the so-called Edomite. It's like the so-called white man or the so-called Jewish guy. He's a Edomite, and the fake Jews. They're the chief tribe of Edom, the Amalekites. And he's going around, walking around with a rifle, threatening to kill black people because that's the spirit that the Lord has placed upon these Edomites in these times, and it's only going to get worse. As they got the Proud Boys out there, but those Proud Boys, I think they have other races, that are part of their organization as well. I think they got like Latinos, and might have a couple of other so-called black people in part of the organization as well, but mainly it's predominantly, I'm sure, Esau Edom. But they said that if Trump loses, there's going to be chaos, and if he wins, it's going to be chaos. So either or, whatever the result of the election is going to be turmoil, due to just the spirit that the Lord going to have these people in at these times, because they're going to defend for Trump if he wins, and they're going to be do the same if he loses. They're going to be against Joe Biden and his supporters, and they're going to be a clash. But these are things that got to take place because it's all part of biblical prophecy. Let's see. I think this is the end of the article. Mecklenburg said officers are taking the claims very seriously and are working to locate the person who reported hearing the threat. Upon learning this information, officers are attempting to identify and locate the person who heard the man make these threats, which we take very seriously, she said. As we investigate, we will be increasing patrols in the area where the man was seen walking yesterday across the city. And that's pretty much it for the article. But as you see, like these Edomites, they have a perpetual hatred for Jake, but that's, really none of their fault because, the Lord has, it made them to be our enemy. I know Jake, they like to be in this Rodney King spirit, like, can't we all just get along? But no, we can't. We can't get along because the Lord has deemed them to be our enemy, and we're gonna be enemies, until the end, and that's how the Lord has created it to be. And we're gonna, go to the scriptures. This is Genesis 25:21, and it reads, "And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh, and Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." Yeah, so the Lord, from day one, at birth, Esau and Jacob, there were two different nations in Rebekah's belly and in their wombs as as children, or they were in her belly. They were warring with each other because that hatred, was in their spirit. So as they were conceived and they were developing, as in her womb, they were constantly fighting with her, and it made her uneasy, and it was causing her so much pain, during her pregnancy. And it's because that the Lord has developed or created them to be enemies, and there were two different nations, and they were warring, from birth, and reading on. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her belly. There were twins in her womb. Yeah, and the Lord had already ordained that, the elder child will serve the younger child. That was the blessing that was given unto Jacob, that he should rule over his brother, his older brother, which is Esau, Edom. Him and his people were going to be slaves unto him. Reading on, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And this is who, the world ignorantly calls the white man today, who is truly the red man. Esau, Edom, is truly red, and his name means wasted away is he, so he is truly the red man. He is not the white man, as he self-proclaimed himself to be. Reading on, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Yeah, so as you see, Jacob was the younger child, and the younger child was deemed to rule over the elderly child, which is Esau, Edom. And because of that, Esau, Edom has that perpetual hatred, towards Jake, because the Lord has, promised us the reign over them, which is going to be eternal. This is Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father is at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Yeah, so this is why this dude, these Edomites, have so much hatred towards us, is because, they feel that we took their blessing. But the truth of the matter is, the Lord had already ordained for Jacob to receive that blessing. And, the Lord says that, we're two different nations, we're two different people, and the Lord has set them to be our enemy. And the Lord, he hates Esau. But, let's go read up a little bit. And we can see 27. This is why he hates us so much. And this is Genesis 27:28. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be everyone that blessed thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came from his hunting. Yeah, so this was the blessing that, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai gave into Jacob, for him to rule, over his brethren and his descendants. And this is why Edom hates Jake, because he doesn't, he feels that his blessing been taken away from him, but it was really never given unto him. So he feel like he's been duped, and now his perpetual hatred that he has, he just wants his blessing back, but the blessing was truly never his, from the beginning. And it just goes to show that Jake has been chosen, to rule over Esau, Edom, and the nations. Let's go to Amos 9 and 11. And it reads, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all of the heathen which are called by thy name, saith Yahweh, that do this. Yeah, so the Lord said that we're going to possess Esau, Edom, and other heathen nations, man, because the Lord has ordained it for us to rule over them. That's why we can't exist, together in this kingdom, because two kings can't exist in the same kingdom, because the Lord has deemed this time for Esau, Edom to rule. This is his short, reign that he was to have in his temporary rule, and the rule that Jacob is to have, or the nation of Israel is to have, is eternal. This is only a temporary situation that the Lord gave into Esau, that he was going to rule by his sword, and he was going to have the fatness of the earth for a certain amount of time. And we're coming into the end of his rule. His time is almost up. But because of his perpetual hatred, he's going to do whatever he can to stay in his power. He's going to go all out to hold on to his kingdom. But the Lord is going to destroy him, and he's going to place those that are rightfully so to be in rule over him and the other nations. And Esau, Edom, is going to get the blunt of the punishment that is to come. He's going to receive double for all the things he has done to the nation of Israel. And this is Exodus 17 and 16, which reads, For he saith, because Yahweh hath sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Yeah, so for all generations, the Lord has chosen the nation of Israel to have war with Amalek. And it's going to be like that until the Lord returns. Because the Lord has deemed Esau, Edom to be his enemy and the enemy of the nation of Israel. The Lord truly hates Esau. And we're going to get that here in Malachi. This is Malachi 1, where it reads, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved ye, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return to build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, thou shalt build, but I will throw down, and thou shalt call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have a indignation forever. So the Lord has a perpetual hatred for Esau, Edom, because he's the wicked, that the Lord has ordained to, to rule the earth currently. The earth is the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, and Esau Edom is this wicked that the Lord has given the earth unto. And the Lord says He hates Esau. He has a perpetual hatred for Esau, because that's who He has had ordained to be the wicked, and for him being wicked, the Lord hates him. Because he's the Lord's adversary. The Lord has chosen Esau Edom to be His adversary and to be His whooping stick to punish the nation of Israel. And now, we're at the end, of, pretty much His kingdom, and his time is up. But, on his way out, he's gonna, the Lord's gonna let him loose. He's gonna really show you, who He truly is. A lot of Jake gonna get a rude awakening about Esau Edom. Like, you think this dude is your friend, or you think that you can just go along and get along in this man's kingdom. But the truth of the matter is, the Lord has set him up to be your enemy, and He's going to use him, to continue to punish you. You got these things like Black Lives Matters movements and whatnot, thinking that these people are going to come and, and bow down to you and try to, work out a way to where that you can, we can work out the kinks of social injustice, and we can just, live in utopia and all get along together in His kingdom. But that's not going to be so. Things are not going to be in order until the nation of Israel is in the right position, and we're going to be ruled under righteous rule under Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. You know what I'm saying? And the nation of Israel, His people. That's when things are going to be in its rightful state, or we're going to be in that utopia that the world earned for. But until then, we're going to be living in this wickedness until the Lord take this devil out of power. This is I want Psalms 139. Yeah, all right. Psalms 139 and 20. This is King David, dealing with, the wicked and those that the Lord hates, but, how David says that, He hates, those with a perfect hatred that hate the Lord. And Esau Edom hates the Lord because everything he does is against the Lord in His way. He's the Lord's adversary. All the things that he does in His kingdom are against the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So this is Psalms 139 and 20, which reads, For thy speak against the wicked. It's like Psalms 139 and 19. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O power. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. And this is talking about Esau Edom, because he's the wicked, and the Lord's going to slay the wicked. He's the bloody man. Read on. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thy enemies take thy name in vain. Yeah, they take the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in vain, and they always speak against him wickedly. They promote adultery, they promote homosexuality in their kingdom or whatnot. They're all about, they lie and say, they're the people of the Lord, in which they're not. You know what I'm saying? So they're against, the ways and the things that Yahweh Shai truly stand for in their kingdom. Because they rule, and they rule wickedly. They say you can have sex changes. You know what I'm saying? They offer transgender, bullshit or whatnot. Yeah, and they with feminist movements, like, those are things that, the Lord is not with, but they promote these things to be against the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Slakia. Read on. Do not I hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee? Am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Yeah, so even David, he's saying, like, I hate those that hate you, Lord. I hate them with a perfect hatred. those are my enemies, So those that are enemies of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, are the enemies, of his people, So Esau Edom is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's enemy, so they're our enemy. We are to hate them as the Lord hates them. The Lord says he hates Esau. So we are to feel the same way as our power feels, We are to be in his likeness, So if Esau Edom he has ordained Esau Edom to be his enemy, and he has a hatred towards him, or perpetual hatred, or his the people that he has an indignation against forever, we are to feel the same, But Jake just in this caught up in this plantation Christianity type spirit, to where that we supposed to love thy neighbor, but they say things without understanding. They've been caught up in the ways that Esau Edom has set upon them, and that's being against the Lord, because that's not what the Lord is stating. That's a false narrative that Esau Edom has created, with his plantation Christianity. And Jake is all in that. They all in the emotions or whatnot, instead of sticking to what the scriptures say. But those that are in the know, those that understand the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, they know that Esau Edom is their enemy, and he's the wicked of the earth, and the Lord is going to destroy him. And that's the times that we're coming in, that the Lord is going to continue to make Esau a bear, and he's going to reveal to you that he truly is the wicked. And you're going to see, once he rolls out his mark of the beast, forced implementation of the microchip, you're going to really see who this devil really is, because that's the times we're coming into, and we're at the end of this captivity. And before he goes down, he's going to go out with a bang, literally, because the Lord's going to blow this place to smithereens, you know what I'm saying, with the nuclear missiles that's going to burn this place, that's going to obliviate this, that's going to obliviate this place, along with the chariots that are going to have beams of fire and destroying this place as well, because this place is going to go up in flames, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope this lesson been edifying. Just want to say, Koholo Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, and Shalom.